I wish when I began my journey online, I had someone to navigate me throughout the entire process. But the problem is that whenever I end up on YouTube looking for advice or for some help, I get the most basic, generic advice of all time. Beside Alex Hormozi, he gives some pretty good lessons. So what I want to do is that I want to give you the 7 lessons that helped me build a 6-figure online digital coaching business. Lesson 1, try everything. I know a lot of people online preach that you should only focus on one thing, don't have your head wrapped up in multiple things. There's a problem when trying to only do one thing, and it's mainly that the people who tell you to focus on one thing, they're trying to sell you the business that they're preaching online, which is why I honestly say just try everything. Try it all: SMMA, dropshipping, IPGA, growth operating. Try all of it. You give each one of these hustles about 6 months or so, and if you see no results, you cut it off and you move on to the next thing. Because just because something worked for someone doesn't mean it's gonna necessarily work for you. So really never put all your eggs in one basket. Lesson 2, think long term. Let me guess, your entire goal at the moment is to make anywhere from 10,000 all the way up to 50,000, just so you can go out and buy a bunch of watches, travel to Dubai, lease a car, and post your lifestyle on social media. That's my best guess. But here's the harsh truth. By making that your number one priority, you will end up in square one eventually. Your success won't last. Your success won't last if you sacrifice a 10-year-long plan for short-term pleasure. So instead, just make sure that when you plan something, plan for decades ahead, not just for the next year or 2. Lesson 3. Every decision matters. Before I make any sort of decisions, I ask myself, what is that decision going to bring into my life? And that's really where calculated risks comes into play. And let me just give you an example. Recently, I decided to take someone under my wing to help him out with his offer and his product, because I personally know that he has a lot to bring to the table, and I know that a lot of people can benefit off of his work. But he really just doesn't have the clear path of what to do in order to get to his destination. Now, keep in mind, I have a business to run, to scale, clients to manage, a lot of work to do throughout the day. So me venturing into a new thing could either destroy me or be another big win that I have had in life. So when it comes to making decisions, just really ask yourself, do I have something big to gain out of this? What are the negatives that could come with this decision? And what will I do if it doesn't go according to plan? And just remember to always be quick when it comes to making decisions. It doesn't take time to make decisions, it takes information. And if you don't have enough information about the certain topic or the certain thing you want to do, study it before you do anything, and when you know it's the right time, go for it, but don't take too long. Lesson 4, which might be controversial in the online space, which is sell to customers, not businesses. Look, I understand that every person online preaches the fact that you should sell to businesses because they pay more and they have a lot of money and you should solve rich people problems. I get it, I understand it, I agree with it to an extent. Because here's the thing, there's a lot of agencies, a lot of consultants, a lot of really whack newbie people who have no idea what they're talking about trying to sell to businesses. And because of all these people popping out of nowhere and dashing into people's emails and DMs, the space has become very competitive. Which means that in order for you to have a competitive advantage, one, you need to have a name for yourself, so a personal brand, any sort of following online, or past work. Instead, try and serve normal people, people like my parents, your co-workers, it doesn't matter, who need help to improve specific areas of their lives. This could be health, wealth, relationship, it doesn't matter. And you can take my business, for example. I run a life coaching business that helps normal working people who suffer with anxiety. Yes, it is harder to try and sell to those people because they're very skeptical when it comes to pricing. But when you have your sales skills dialed in and your product 10 out of 10, this should not be a problem at all. Lesson 5, do not compare. Don't compare your mission to someone else's mission. Don't compare where you are with someone else's life. Everyone has their own calling and everyone has to do their own thing. Not everybody's supposed to copy the other person. Everyone has their own purposes, which is why you should cut it off and not chase someone else's dream. Lesson 6, do not be arrogant. You might be one of those people who thinks that they're better than everybody, who wants it all to themselves and to no one else, who thinks they know everything and they have everything all figured out and it's only a matter of time till everything just clicks in. When in reality, you are nothing. I'm nothing. Comparing myself to people who make hundreds of millions of dollars, I am nowhere near their level, which means I have so much to learn. You should never act like you know everything, and you should always remain humble to the idea that you still have so much to learn. Lesson 7, don't build without hardships. Let's just get this out the gate. Don't start a business if you've never suffered with anxiety, stress, or any sort of hardships in life. If your past life has been all easy peasy and things have been handed to you and you never really went through suffering, then the business life is not for you. Because honestly, not everyone will succeed. Let's just say this from now. Not everyone will start a business and next thing you know, they're making 50K a month. It's not gonna happen. If you grow up in a very nice, okay house, then you don't have the characteristics to go out and build something of yourself. Everything has been on easy mode for you. And if you do end up thinking of like, oh, I'm gonna start a business, and you do end up starting a business, you're not gonna end up growing that business. Matter of fact, you will probably end up quitting very fast. Because in your mind, you're comfortable with the idea of, if things don't go the way I want to, either way, I'll still most likely be fine. And that is it. That is my advice if you're trying to start an online business. And honestly, if you're watching this video, then I'm sure that you will make it because you're looking for change in life and you probably went through enough hardships for you to go out and make something of your own. If you want to learn exactly how I've built a digital coaching business all the way up to 6 figures a year, I have my blueprint down in the description. You can feel free to check it out. Feel free to educate yourself because honestly, that is the only way to succeed, and it's by educating yourself. Feel free to leave a sub, and on that note, I will see you in the next video.